In this video, we are going to check for the assumptions of Cox regression in Stata, one of the models used to analyze survival data. Unlike the Kaplan-Meier and the log-rank test that we previously covered, which compares survival time between groups of only one single variable, Cox regression allows you to analyze the effect of more than one independent variable on survival time. It is a non-parametric model, and some books refer to it as a same parametric model because the baseline hazard is not defined, unlike the parametric models on the right, which we shall also be covering in our subsequent episodes. Our focus today is the Cox regression, and specifically we are going to test for the main assumption of Cox regression, which is the assumption of proportional hazards. We shall demonstrate how to use the graphical approaches and also the statistical approaches in testing this assumption. So what is this proportional hazards assumption that we are talking about? To understand this assumption, let us consider a plot of survival probability against time for participants receiving treatment A and those receiving treatment B. Over time, the survival time is expected to reduce. However, with this assumption, it is assumed that as the survival probability of participants receiving treatment B reduce, the survival probability of those receiving treatment A is also expected to reduce in a proportional manner at any time point. If you get the hazard ratio at time 2 should be equal to the hazard ratio at time 4, at time 6 throughout the entire study. If you are to plot that hazard ratio, then you would get a horizontal line over time. This implies that the hazard ratio depends only on the difference in the set of individual characteristics being studied instead of time. Using our example of treatment A and B, if treatment B reduces the risk of death by half compared to treatment A at month 2, then it should do the same, reduce the risk of death by half at month 4, at 6, at 8, and at 10. It shouldn't change over time. So the proportional hazards assumption states that hazard at time t for a subject in one group is proportional to the hazard at the same time for a patient in another group. In terms of the hazard ratio, the hazard ratios between groups are constant over time, as shown in the graph on the right. If the assumption is violated, instead of having a graph like the one on the left, we could have a graph that looks like this. Or in terms of hazard ratios, we would have a graph that shows that hazard ratio either linearly increases or reduces. That would be a violation of this assumption, and hence you cannot use the Cox regression. You would prefer for the extended Cox that we shall be covering in subsequent episodes. So how do we test for these assumptions? There are three main ways that we can do this in Stata. One is the graphical approach. We've just looked at it. A plot of survival probabilities against the time can give us an idea of whether this assumption has been fulfilled or not. We can also have survival curves for observed versus expected survival probabilities, and we interpret them. Then secondly, we can use the testing residuals approach. It is also called the global test using the scaled Schoenfeld residuals. And lastly, we can check for time dependence by extending our Cox model to include time varying covariates to see whether they are significant or not. Here is our hypothetical dataset that we are going to use to demonstrate this procedure of checking for assumptions. We have the ID of the participants. We have the event. In survival analysis, we are determining whether the event happened or not. But most importantly, we are also looking at the time to event. Those are the two key outcome variables in survival analysis. Then we have the three independent variables. Two are categorical, and then age, which is as continuous variable. So we want to determine factors associated with survival time from this data set using Cox regression. But before we do that, we have to check for the assumption of proportional hazards, whether it is fulfilled or not. Before we test for our assumption, we have to first fit our Cox regression model in Stata. And before we fit our model, we have to first declare that our data is survival time data. To do this, simply go to Statistics, Survival Analysis, Setup and Utilities, then click on Declare Data to be survival time data. In this dialog box, we specify what our time variable is, the time to event. In our case, it is time. And then the failure event, the variable that shows whether the event has happened or not. In our data set, we've labeled it as event, which is death. And then we specify in that variable, how was the coding for the outcome. Our case 1 denotes an outcome, then click OK. In this output, you will see the survival time data settings, specifying the failure event, the observed time interval, and all the other details. So after declaring data to be survival data, now we fit our Cox regression model. Simply go to Statistics, Survival Analysis, then Regression Models, click on Cox Proportional Hazards Model. In this dialog box, we specify our independent variables. Here we have gender, treatment, and age. We've already told Stata the outcome of our variable when we are setting data to be survival time data. That's why you will not be asked to specify it here. When you're done, you click OK. Now that we've already fit our Cox regression model, we can now proceed to check for the proportional hazards assumption based on this model, whether our data fits that assumption. We shall start with the graphical approaches, first using the log minus log survival curve by simply going to Statistics, Survival Analysis, Regression Models, and then graphically assess pH assumption. In this dialog box, we have to specify which variable do we want to test this assumption on. Using this log minus log plot of survival, we can only check for assumption for one variable at a time and for only categorical variables. If we have a continuous variable, then we have to categorize it using meaningful cutoffs. So we shall start by gender here, and then there are several options here, whether you want to plot a minus log of negative log of survival or just log without the negative. Essentially, they are the same graphs. It is just the direction that differs. For this demonstration, I'm going to select plot log minus log here and also against the analysis time. Then I click submit. Here is our graph, and if this assumption has been fulfilled, graphs for individuals in different groups should be approximately parallel. From this, we can see that the curves really are approximately parallel. The limitation with this approach, the question is, how parallel is parallel? There is a conservative rule of thumb that you can follow. The assumption is fulfilled if these curves do not cross each other. But here we can see that from this side up to almost the end, the graphs are parallel, but then they cross. Potentially, this variable might have violated the assumption. However, you cannot conclude using one method. You have to explore other methods before you make a decision. So we can also do the same for treatment. Click OK. Then you can see these ones are clearly parallel. They are not crossing. So treatment has fulfilled the assumption. So that is one way you can graphically assess for the assumption using the log minus log of survival probability. Next, we can look at a plot of observed versus expected survival probabilities, which we can get through statistics, again survival analysis, regression models, and then Kaplan-Meier versus predicted survival. Still, this one we also assess one variable at a time, and for categorical variables, so we shall put the independent variable. We can look at gender first, click submit. In this graph, if the observed and the predicted or expected survival curves are close to each other, then the assumption is fulfilled. And we can see that for female and for males, you can see the observed and predicted are pretty close to each other. So gender has fulfilled this assumption. Using the log minus log, we saw that towards the end probably it wasn't meeting the assumption, but using this other approach it has fulfilled. We can also see for treatment, and this one clearly you can see for treatment A and B, the curves are far from each other, but for each curve the predicted and observed are close to each other, so the assumption has been fulfilled. So graphically, the assumptions have been fulfilled. So we can now look at approach number 2 of testing residuals, the scaled Schoenfeld residuals. They also referred to as the global test. Like I said before, ensure that you've run your model. Just to be sure, I can get this command we used and then run it again. And then goes to statistics, survival analysis, regression models, and then test pH assumption. Ensure that the proportional assumption test based on Schoenfeld residuals, the pH test, is selected. Then under options, you need to check this box of test proportional hazards assumption separately for each covariate. I can submit this. So this is a statistical test based on Schoenfeld residuals and analysis time. It is simply testing the null hypothesis that there is no correlation, or the correlation coefficient rho is equal to 0, whereas the alternative is there is a correlation between the residuals and time. So if there is a correlation, it means the assumption has been violated. Non-significant p-values here indicate that we fail to reject the null, the assumption has been fulfilled. So the null which says that correlation coefficient equals to 0 is true. There is no correlation between residuals and time. We have for each individual variable and the overall here. So previously we saw that for gender we were not sure whether the assumption passed, but based on the statistical test, this has passed. Still under this dialog box, you can also get a graphical method called the smooth scaled Schoenfeld residuals versus time. Instead of these testing assumptions separately for each, we can take this plot. So we specify which variable we want. We can put in gender, and then we submit. So this is a non-parametric smoothed estimate of the hazard ratio. We would expect to get a horizontal line that shows that hazard ratio does not vary over time. Hazard ratio stays constant over time for the assumption to be fulfilled. And we can see that for gender, our assumption has been fulfilled. We can try treatment. We submit this. We can also see that the line is roughly horizontal, indicating that the assumption has been fulfilled. What is important to note here is that this global test can use a continuous variable to test for the assumption. You don't need to first categorize that assumption like we've seen for the graphical approaches. So lastly, we are going to check for this assumption by looking at the time dependence or including time varying covariates. What we mean by testing time dependence is fitting a Cox regression model and putting in the time varying covariates for the independent variables to see whether any of those variables, its effect on survival time changes over time. So to do that, simply go to statistics, survival analysis, then regression models, then Cox proportional hazards model. We are fitting the model. Our variables are already there, but we are including the time varying covariates of these variables. It's like the product term of each of those variables with the time. So we are going to check this box of time varying covariate, and then we put in all our independent variables. Then we click OK. You will notice that we have the main analysis that has the independent variables, but we also have a lower section that has the time varying covariates. And what we are interested in here, if all the p-values are not statistically significant, it means the effect of that variable on survival time does not depend on time. It is constant over time. So it is advisable that you can manually check which of these TVCs are statistically significant by removing the highly non-significants first, because sometimes as you remove one time covariate, the rest become significant. So based on this, this is the most non-significant time covariate. So we shall first remove gender from our time covariates. I enter. Even what I'm left with is non-significant. I remove age to see whether the other one remains significant. It is also non-significant, meaning there is no time dependence between any of our variables. If there was time dependence, then we would maintain that variable and it is time varying covariate into the model in all our subsequent analysis, whether choosing variables, testing for interaction, confounding, it should be there. So using all the approaches, our pH assumption has been fulfilled. So this means our data is fit to be analyzed using Cox regression model. If you found this video useful, consider liking and subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss out any of our subsequent episodes. Next, we are going to look at how to check for the functional form of covariates. If I have a numeric variable, is it better handled as numeric, or I can categorize that variable to give my model better prediction power? See you in the next episode.